college stories too. Also, I'm trying to sound a bit more animated. Anyways, normally I don't say subscribe to the end of the video, but this time I'm going to make an exception because the last video I posted, I actually, went down, which I wasn't expecting, and it hurts a little bit, I'm not going to lie. Anyways, let's move on with the story. So this was back in, I guess, my sophomore year of college, or of undergrad. And so I was coming back from my dorm during finals week, and so everybody was already kind of tired of school. So I finally walk up to the top of the small mountain of stairs that I had to climb, and then I turn the corner and look down the hallway. Now imagine the surprise on my face when I see like 15 guys standing all the way at the other end of the hallway with rolly chairs, like those like cheap college chairs that they give students in dorms. Yeah, so like half the time you're scared they're just gonna snap and So now let me give you some background of the hallway and where my room was. So basically, for starters, it was not very big. Like the hallway was, I could reach, like my wingspan could reach from wall to wall. But the way the school made up for that was the fact that it was a straight line down. Like it literally was just a straight building. So you could go, if you ran, you could go from one end to the other end of the hall. So overall, it was like a 4 out of 10 hallway. I mean, it needed a new ceiling because the cool kids, I'm doing air quotes here, kept punching the ceiling. I mean, there's a lot of stories I could tell about this dorm because it was not the greatest. But anyway. Now, my room was at the other end of the hallway.
No dorm is this nice.
I know, right, XD Romao.
So I had to walk the length of the hallway to get to the door. It was at the end with all the people on it. So when I walk down there and I get to my door, naturally, I ask, so what are you guys doing here? Or one of the guys standing near the chairs was like, chair racing. You want to give it a go? We haven't tried yet. Now, 3 thoughts popped into my head when he said this. 1, that sounds pretty fun. 2, the more logical thought, my brain zoned in on the fact that he said, we haven't tried this yet? And 3, I'm looking at the hallway and the fact that they're trying to fit 2 of these chairs down this small hallway without hitting each other or anything. So naturally, I said, no, I'm good. I'll let you go first. So there I was standing outside my room, and I was like half in the door, half out so that they could have room to go by. Because I definitely wanted to watch this go down. So they run on the chairs and start going, and they jump onto the chairs, and they don't get a third the way down the hallway before I see a big flaw that clearly none of them had thought of. And so basically, this hallway, it was big enough for 2 of those chairs side by side. You know what it's not big enough for? 2 of these chairs and a water fountain. So they had already jumped onto the chairs and were speeding down the hallway. And then I see the kid on the right, I see his face go from like having fun chair racing to smoking his last cigarette in about 2 seconds because he sees this water fountain. But they've already jumped on the chairs. I couldn't say anything in time. So he rams into this water fountain and goes flying off the chair. And now the water fountain, it successfully defended its turf, right? But it was not left unharmed. This thing was like hanging off the wall and the water was stuck on. So it was constantly spraying water because half of this whole water fountain had been ripped off the wall. Run. Now, at this point, you'd think there was like a bomb in the building because kids scattered everywhere. I guess that's to be expected, right? It was like the last day of the community pool where they throw the candy in the water. If you get that reference, you get it. So I was already at my door, right? I was not a part of this. I just walk in my room, close the door, lock it, and try really hard not to laugh too loud. A few minutes later, I looked through the peephole on my door to check on the victor, which was the water fountain, and sure enough, they were pushing him back into his rightful spot. They were trying to fix this thing before an RA noticed. So I just sit at my door and watch the rescue attempt through the peephole. And to my surprise, when they pushed the water fountain back onto the wall, it actually stopped spraying water. So I don't know how it was stuck on, but they had to like bend the metal or whatever. And yeah, it was pretty entertaining. So I think the lesson here is don't chair race down a small hallway with a beast of a water fountain. The score ended up being College Kids 0, Water Fountain 1. Hey, so you've made it to the end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and like the video, all that stuff. I actually have plenty more stories from college in this dorm in particular, because it's probably the worst out of all the dorms I ever lived in. Yeah, maybe that's a topic for another video.